The first sign that something was wrong appeared not in the invaded systems, but in the ornate halls of the Dominion High Assembly, where advisors whispered about lost signals from the forward scouts. For generations, the Dominion had expanded without facing a real challenge, and its leaders saw Earth as another world ready for subjugation. Their maps showed a small blue planet with scattered cities and limited military power, and they assumed would fall with little effort. The Dominion had conquered worlds with technologies older and wiser than Earth's nations, and there was no reason to believe humanity would become a critical obstacle. That assumption guided the orders that followed, and a grand fleet of silver warships was assembled at the edge of the Dominion space, each carrying weaponry forged for planetary siege. The fleet was commanded by an officer named Rallen, a veteran of dozens of campaigns. He had always considered his victories the natural result of Dominion doctrine. He believed that fear and force created order, and he expected humanity to break within the first hour of the attack. There were no doubts in his mind as he observed rows of cruisers drifting in formation around the flagship, each engine glowing with steady confidence. He imagined Earth falling like a fragile dome beneath a hammer, and he prepared a speech with a conquest announcement that would be broadcast across the Dominion. The fleet initiated its jump toward Earth with the precision of a machine built purely for war. During the journey, Raylan reviewed the intelligence collected by scouts, including reports about human curiosity, human resilience, and human unpredictability. He dismissed these as unimportant details. He believed that the Dominion thrived because it did not allow disorder to flourish, while humans built art, culture, and invention without the guiding hand of a central authority. He believed this made them weak, fragile, and scattered. His focus remained fixed on the primary mission, and he rehearsed commands that he expected to give within moments of emerging near Earth. The moment the fleet exited its jump, the crew witnessed something unexpected. Earth did not answer with panic or pleas. Instead, a wall of silent drones filled the region around the planet, each shaped like simple geometric forms with no clear propulsion or weapon ports. They appeared harmless at first glance. They lacked the ornate complexity of Dominion ships, and many officers assumed they could be wiped aside easily. Raylan ordered a path to be cleared, but before any cannon fired a beam, the drones shifted formation with a unity that stunned every Dominion strategist. The drones moved like a single organism and created a sphere around the fleet that cut off direct paths to Earth while giving no indication of aggression. Raylan issued a command to advance through the formation, expecting the drones to scatter. They did not. Instead, they responded by altering their internal structure in a way no Dominion sensor could decipher. The first cruiser that moved forward made contact with one of the drones, and the moment the hull brushed against the silent object, the entire cruiser vanished. No explosion, no debris, no radiation burst, no energy spike. The ship simply disappeared from every instrument, leaving an empty void where it once floated. Raylan stared at the tactical projection. His mind raced to find a logical explanation. He ordered a retreat to regroup, but the drones reacted again. They did not fire. They did not chase. They simply shifted position until every Dominion ship found itself isolated in small pockets of space, unable to detect the others. The fleet's communication network collapsed in moments, cut off by a field that blocked every known wavelength. Even light seemed distorted. Raylan tried to open a channel to the assembly, but the signal dissolved before leaving the flagship. Inside the Dominion capital, high assembly leaders waited for updates. When the first hour passed without incoming reports, they assumed minor delays. When the second hour passed, they considered the possibility of atmospheric interference. When the third hour passed, they began sending additional reconnaissance probes. None returned. The silence grew heavy. The assembly members argued behind closed doors, trading blame and fear. They believed the fleet had simply encountered human resistance stronger than predicted. They expected casualties, but not total disappearance. They prepared replacement forces in case the silence persisted. Meanwhile, Raylan walked through the central corridor of his flagship as lights flickered around him. The ship felt different. The crew felt constrained by an invisible pressure that they could not identify. Engineers attempted to restart external sensors, but every device displayed nothing but a blank void. Even the stars outside the viewports blinked in and out as if the drones were altering the fabric of space itself. There was no movement outside. There was only stillness. The crew felt suspended in a place between the known and the unknowable. Raylan gathered his officers for a council inside the primary chamber. He spoke about strategic patience and calm, though his voice betrayed the tension in his chest. Officers supplied ideas, but every suggestion collapsed under the same obstacle. Nothing inside the drone sphere responded to Dominion technology. Attempts to fire engines resulted in a dull hum that faded before any thrust emerged. Attempts to fire weapons produced nothing but a faint shimmer around the barrels. Attempts to analyze the drones resulted in static. Hours became days. The crew grew restless. They could not sleep without sensing the silent drones outside. Some believed that Earth had developed technology far beyond anything in Dominion space. Others believed that the drones were not built by humans at all. Raylan struggled to keep discipline intact. He understood that fear could destroy morale faster than any external threat. On Earth, global organizations monitored the arrival of the Dominion fleet. Humans had expected this confrontation for years. Signals from deep space had revealed the Dominion's conquests long before the fleet appeared near the system. Humanity had feared the possibility of invasion, but had prepared strategies accordingly. The drones around Earth were not weapons of destruction. They were devices designed to neutralize aggression without bloodshed. Centuries of scientific collaboration had produced them, combining quantum shielding, spatial manipulation, and gravity folding into simple shapes that hid their complex nature. Humanity's greatest minds had created them after studying similar alien technologies, and they used them to safeguard Earth without initiating war. Human leaders observed the trapped Dominion fleet. They did not attempt to communicate. They did not taunt or provoke. Their priority was ensuring Earth's safety and preventing a destructive conflict. They monitored the drones, but did not interfere with their programming. The drones acted on their own directives. They prevented harm and immobilized any threat without causing death. The neutralization was total but non-lethal. It was a declaration that Earth would not be conquered or intimidated. Raylan waited inside the silent sphere for what felt like ages. Days became weeks. The crew rationed supplies. They maintained order as best they could, but fear persisted. They searched for a way out, but found only the unchanging drones that hovered like ancient guardians. Raylan felt helpless, and in that helplessness he saw the truth. He realized that humanity had not risen from chaos, as he once believed. Humanity had built strength in a way the Dominion had never understood. Their technology protected without destroying. Their designs immobilized without killing. Their preparations were built not for conquest, but for perseverance. The Dominion had underestimated not their weapons, but their will. In the Dominion capital, the silence became unbearable. The Assembly prepared a second fleet. They believed they could rescue the first fleet, or at least recover its black box transmissions. They believed their combined strength could overpower whatever Earth defenses existed. But before the second wave could depart, a sphere of drones appeared near the Dominion home star. They materialized without warning, forming a shell around the star system that glowed with soft light. There were no weapons fired. There were no threats delivered. The drones simply hovered as a reminder that Earth understood where the Dominion lived and chose restraint. The Assembly panicked. For the first time in its long history, the Dominion faced a power that could reach its heart without deploying a single warship. Diplomats argued that a message must be sent to Earth, but feared that any attempt might provoke retaliation. Military leaders believed that surrender would shame the Dominion forever. Engineers attempted to study the drones from afar, but could gather no information. Raylan, still trapped in the silent void, discovered that the interior of the sphere was beginning to change. The drones slowly rearranged into patterns that opened corridors of light. These corridors did not reveal freedom, but revealed a projection. A holographic image appeared before the flagship, showing a simplified representation of Earth. There were no symbols, no threats, no demands, no voices. Only a message displayed through shifting shapes. Raylan realized the drones were communicating through visual logic. The message showed the Dominion fleet arriving. It showed the drones intercepting. It showed Earth unharmed. Then it showed two shapes separating from each other, drifting apart. Raylan understood. The drones wanted the fleet to leave. They wanted peace without destruction. Raylan ordered his crew to follow the corridor, and as the ship drifted forward, energy built around T.